Hello, 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 and welcome everybody to our second episode of Fresh Off the Press presented by Blue Manatee Press. My name is Chase Osborne. I am your host with the most, and I'm proudly the marketing manager for Blue Manatee Press. We have another great guest today, a man who can write, who can illustrate, and who has an interesting affinity for cheese. I'll announce him soon, but first I just want to introduce Blue Manatee Press. We are a press with a purpose. Founded in Cincinnati, Ohio in 2011 by Dr. John Hutton, Blue Manatee Press has been on a mission to create meaningful, enduring books that help bring grown-ups and children together. Owned and helmed by a pediatrician, our team consists of experts in child development, fine art, and children's literature. We proudly publish original children's books that utilize a variety of artistic media and strive to create stories that are both educational and fun, with an emphasis on turning off screens and experiencing the world through hands-on, creative play. We encourage you to go to our website, www.bluemanateepress.com, to learn more about us, as well as learn about our authors and illustrators and explore our library of fun books to purchase for the little one in your life. Check out some of our renowned titles like our DR, that is Dialogic Reading, and Baby Unplugged board book series, or picture books like Odd Animal ABCs, Wake, Zookeeper, or even our 2019 Fall Kids Indie Next List title, Mr. Pumpkin's Tea Party, which we discussed in the last episode with author and illustrator Aaron Barker. Again, that is www.bluemanateepress.com, or connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or YouTube at Blue Manatee Press. Today is October 15th, which means we're all continuing our countdown to Halloween. And what better way should we at Blue Manatee Press continue our celebration than talking about our own Spring 2020 Indie Next List title, Little Monster Trucks Go, written and illustrated by Doug Cenko. 5 little monster trucks encounter challenge after challenge on the racetrack. With their amazing driving skills, a few surprising gadgets, and a little teamwork, the trucks are sure to make it to the finish line. But who will get first place? It's the perfect book for all children, ages 4 to 8. Do you like shark-looking trucks? This book has it. Do you like a kitty-looking truck? Well, this book has it. What about a cheese truck? Unique, I know. Well, guess what? This book has it. Personally, it's one of my favorites because I love when the trucks come together to work together for the big surprise at the end. It reminds me of the shows from my childhood. But hey, again, don't just take my word for it. Sally Sue Levine of the Storybook Shop says, quote, Little Monster Trucks Go teaches even the youngest of readers the importance of teamwork. Little people can do big things, especially if they work together, and each of the book's little trucks has special skills. This book is a bright, colorful, fun race where everyone is a winner. You can order your copy of Little Monster Trucks Go today by going to our website, www.bluemanateepress.com, or by ordering through your local indie bookstore, which of course we always do encourage. And of course, our guest today is the father of the year himself, the Chicagoan. He's a princess in the eyes of his daughter, author and illustrator, Mr. Doug Cenko. Enjoy our conversation, everybody. All right, everybody, for today's podcast, we have the author of My Papa is a Princess, My Mama is a Mechanic, and Little Monster Trucks Go, Doug Cenko. Welcome, Doug. Welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me. How's it going?
It's going. Busy day today. We have Baby Monster, written by Andrea Pfeiffer and illustrated by Aaron Barker, coming out soon. And
yeah, that looks super cute.
Oh yeah, it's a really cute book, and I was trying my best to get as many copies, like ARC copies, out to reviewers and influencers as I can to get us prepared for publish.
Nice.
But we're so excited to have you on. Again, for people who don't know, Doug Cenko is the author and the illustrator of Little Monster Trucks Go, which was our big spring release. It's one of my favorites from the inventory of Blue Manatee books that I've read through. I personally like the Monster Bot at the end. Or, yeah, like the big truck bot. It kind of reminded me of, like, growing up watching Power Rangers when they all come together.
Yeah. It's very, very Voltron. I was more a Voltron.
There you go. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, I see that.
Yeah, there's a lot of similar concepts like that out there.
I like that. So overall, what was your inspiration for Little Monster Trucks Go?
Definitely, growing up as a kid, it's the Transformers. I grew up with the cartoons and the toys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Transformers and Micro Machines were some of my favorites. I don't know if you remember those, but they're kind of like little just like little mini cars that were just like really detailed. Some of them, the doors opened up, and like the hood, and you could see the engine inside.
So are you a car person or?
You know what? It's funny. I'm not. I was as a kid.
Yeah.
I was as a kid, and then yeah, not anymore.
It's kind of wild because same for me. Like I grew up collecting Hot Wheels, but as I've grown up, I've realized most cars aren't Hot Wheels. So it's just
right.
not as fun unless you can somehow get your hand on a Lamborghini or something.
Right. Right. Yeah, and I live in Chicago, so I barely.
Oh yeah, what is a
drive
car, right?
Anywhere. Right. So,
what's your next one? Little Monster Trains?
Maybe that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, keep it personable.
Right.
So another big series that you have that you've written and have illustrated for is your My Papa is a Princess and My Mama is a Mechanic books. Very influential, I think. As a guy reading it, it kind of breaks down that toxic masculinity by saying it's okay to like play dress up or to essentially be this princess to your daughter. Like, if anything, that makes you more of a figure to your child. And I personally love that. What was your inspiration for that? Was that personal experience or?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 100% just spending time with my daughter. I think I wrote it when she was around 3.
Wow.
And then, at that age, you're just kind of everything, to your daughter, and she'll dress you up, and she doesn't question it, so
yeah.
No need to question it. And it's just all about all the different roles that you have and how she sees them, just everything. It's just all about having fun.
Yeah, I really enjoyed My Mama's Mechanic because growing up, my dad wasn't super involved in my childhood. So my mom was like my mom and my dad. We go outside and play toss. She was the red starting pitcher for me.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like she would like work, like fix my bike or something that happens. She's a mechanic.
Right. Exactly.
I could very personally relate to the My Mama book, and I thoroughly enjoyed that one. I just want to personally say thank you for creating that because it's a book that like I want to give her for Mother's Day.
Well, you can.
Well, I will now. I will now. Talking about like how your daughter would dress you up and such, I used to volunteer for a program called Respite. Parents with children with disabilities could drop off their kids at our church for 2 or 3 hours and they could go take a break, a little respite, go on a date. And so I had a little buddy named Caleb who, man, he liked to run. And they assigned me to him because they thought I had like the most energy to keep up with him, and I spent the whole time running around. But the one time, and he was the most adorable kid. He was awesome. Loved Lightning McQueen, but man, he loved going to the dress up department and painting my fingernails and like putting a wig on me and stuff, and he just like really enjoyed doing that. And you could just tell the joy, the happiness that he had from doing that. And then of course all the other kids were coming around like, oh, I want to paint his nails or I want to do his eyebrows or something. So I got the whole makeover every time. But
nice.
Yeah, it's just a humbling experience, and it's something I have no problem doing. It's fun.
Yeah, it is.
And me and Aaron, we had talked about how when I was growing up, I would go over to my grandparents, and me and my sister would play Prince and Princess Tea Time. And that's kind of how Mr. Pumpkin related to me in a sense. But like, I can't wait to do that with my own kids one day. Like dress up and like have a tea time together or Prince and Princess. That kind of stuff excites me. So being a father, how has that influenced your art overall, both in illustration and storytelling itself?
I mean, it definitely, just spending time, with my daughters, where a lot of my ideas come from. She'll just say something just that is so kind of off the wall, every now and then, and it's just like I'm like, that's a book right there. That just that one little thing, that you said. It's just like such a great idea for something, and it's interesting as she gets older. She's 7 now, and it just changes. It kind of keeps keeps evolving, and kind of coming up with ideas for books for older kids now, just kind of based on her age.
One day it's about hugging
really
a teddy bear,
yeah.
and the next day it will be about philosophy.
Right.
She's gonna keep getting more cognizant of what's going on, and yeah, one day it's gonna be I want sweet tarts, and the next day it's gonna become like, hey, can I have Galileo's theory on whatever nonsense? But yeah, kids say the darnest things.
Right.
And
right.
That's actually really funny to me how a lot of your books and your concepts develop from what your kids were saying. So Little Monster Trucks Go, that was more so your own, like getting in touch with yourself as a kid, or did your daughter still have an inspiration? Yeah.
I mean, she definitely, she inspired, just the fact that the book I decided to make a children's book is all inspired by her. But that particular idea, came from when I was a kid and wanting to relive that a little bit. And just, the things with, going back to the micro machines and how the tracks are. And I wanted, a lot of the spreads to be able to see all the tracks and where the trucks were going, and so the kids could kind of follow the paths. And because that's one of my daughter's favorite things to do. If there was ever somebody walking in a book and they had like the dotted line behind them,
Just
she would every time she would have to follow it. We'd have to stop and we'd have to follow it. It's like, let's just do that. And, it's just kind of a fun part to see how they're going and see where they're at on the book, and, each spread, who's in the lead, and all that.
Yeah, it's these little details when I read them that I don't even think about. But I'm sure when you have a kid, like, kids just pick up on these little details. And it's almost amazing. I think I read a study one time, right, that kids, young developing children, are better problem solvers than like adults, and I fully believe it. Yeah.
Yep, definitely.
Like, they notice the most minute details, and they're so great at problem solving and like figuring out puzzles. My little brother, I will never forget when my little brother was only 5 or 6 years old, really into Legos. And that kid's a genius. He just graduated high school, like magna cum laude. He's a very smart kid, loves puzzles. He was only 5 or 6 years old, and my dad had taken us to his work where he was the IT supervisor. It was on a Saturday. He had to bring us in because they were having some kind of network issue. And we sat there for like 6 hours that day. It just felt so long. That was back when like the only game that we could play on the computers too was either pinball or we had this little elf bowl, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And so, we're trying to entertain ourselves with pinball or elf bowl for 6 hours. And my dad and his employees, like, they cannot figure out what's going on. They keep looking at a circuit board, thinking that there's an issue there. And then finally, my little brother walks up to it and says, "That looks out of place," pointed at it. And sure enough, it was. I kid you not, this actually happened. 6 hours later, all it took was my little brother to go up to it. Problem solved. Oh, they were embarrassed. They were impressed. And he looked at it for not even 5 seconds. He took one look at it and said, "That looks out of place." The kid is a genius. He taught himself Japanese. Like,
oh, wow.
Very proud of him. He's slightly smarter than me. I'm a little jealous.
Did they give him a job that day?
They should have. They should have. I can definitely see him. I think right now his freshman year of college, which is a weird year to be in college. I feel bad for him.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's still exploratory. I could totally see him being some kind of like software engineer or computer engineer. He's just got the talent for it. Meanwhile, I'm a history major. So my parents didn't evenly distribute the brains in a family, but that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. Who's doing the podcast though, huh?
Exactly. Right. I got more of the creativity in me, so I'll take it.
Right.
So do you have any other interests or hobbies besides, just creating art?
I mean, art's a big one between the kid and art that takes up it takes up most of my time.
Let me look at my schedule real quick.
But I mean, I love playing video games.
Yeah.
I love, sometimes just getting out, going for a walk.
Yeah. Do you have like any dogs or pets?
I don't. My daughter would love one. So she is really into cats.
Oh, okay.
And that was definitely it was her pick for the cat truck in Little Monster Trucks Go. That's kind of
I love that.
her choice to have a cat truck. And she loves cats, but my wife's allergic, so I don't know if
Oh.
that's ever gonna happen, but we'll see what we can do.
So,
No pets. Someday.
yeah, you could get yourself a cat and like a little harness and a leash, and you can be that, that family that walks the cat on the sidewalk together. That's nothing weird about it. Don't worry.
No.
No, that's awesome. So it's
Nope.
actually funny. Our neighbor, he and his wife have a dog of like 13, 14 years. He always wanted a dog growing up, but his parents, because they didn't want a dog, had him convinced that he was allergic to dog hair.
Oh.
So he lived most of his life wanting a dog and not having one because he thought for sure he was allergic, but turns out he wasn't, so good for him.
Oh, well, right, I guess.
So video games, that's it?
Yeah.
That's like your only really like extra hobby aside from being a dad?
I love reading.
Yeah.
I'm into I've been reading a lot of graphic novels lately.
Oh, what are you reading right now?
I just finished the Prince and the Dressmaker.
Mm.
And I'm going through some more, I have to kind of read some grown-up stuff too.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah. Surrounded by too many kids books right now, huh?
Right, you gotta break it up sometimes.
I feel that right now.
Yeah, I've been reading through Saga.
Okay.
Too. Saga's really good. Yeah, just all kinds of stuff. Try to mix it up. Try to not just create, but you gotta bring some stuff in too. Add a bit of creativity.
Right. I just gotta say, my favorite, I guess, like anime graphic novel. I love Attack on Titan.
Oh, that's a good one.
Sometimes people will be like, "Hey, that's pretty mainstream." I'll say, I don't care. Great story, great plot, fantastic show. And manga to read. I love it. I love it. Do you ever have like an issue with when you're trying to create a story, you start realizing maybe you got a little too inspired by something you read? Because I like to write short stories and novels, and sometimes I'll sit back like, oh, that's a great story, and then I look at it, I'm like, huh, I've read this before.
I mean, there's been times where I think I had a really good idea, and I'd like Google it and thought, saw that it exists already. If I read it or not, and that's tough when you think you have a really good idea,
right?
But it's out there, and you're like, I gotta come up with something else.
So, what is your favorite book of all time?
I think probably my favorite, kind of going back to the graphic novels.
Mm-hmm.
I love Lone Wolf and Cub.
Okay.
Have you ever read that one? It's
I have
old
not,
Japanese
but I know people
manga
who have. Yeah.
From the 70s. It's a long ongoing series.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about a samurai and his son, and
I'll have to read that finally.
It's awesome. It's really good. Definitely not not children
right
appropriate.
for you adults out there listening.
Right.
Here's a suggestion.
That's my favorite. Yes. Yeah. That's definitely my favorite. That's one. It's rare that I go back and reread stuff that I've already read. I'm always looking to read new books, and that's one that I could just keep rereading.
I like
over
that.
And over.
That's unique. I'll have to go and read that. I think to me that's one of the beauty of Japanese manga or anime. They can seemingly be endless. They just live on, and I think they pass down so well generation to generation too.
Yeah, definitely.
When I was a kid, we had Full Metal Alchemist. I tried watching it again here as an adult. I was like, wow, I don't know how I watched that as a kid. I find it kind of boring. But they made a remastered for the new generation of kids, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and wow, that's a great series.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that one. I'm like, it's the same series, but completely different. It's really weird. Very weird. I love how they pulled it off. Maybe I should suggest to Blue Manatee Press that we start doing like kids graphic novels, huh? I don't know how we pull that off exactly, but they are out there.
They're out there. There's a lot of them, like Prince and the Dressmaker.
Yeah.
I mean, that's perfect for. That's what I've been reading with my daughter a lot. And for her, like she enjoys the graphic novels because there's like just enough words, but not too many words. It's not overwhelming to her. and she's still able to follow the story even if she doesn't get every word. And it's I think it's like the perfect, next step for kids that are learning to read.
Yeah, it's almost like it's that great step between picture book and chapter books that when I was a kid I wasn't really given that option. I went straight from corduroy to Charlotte's Web or Junie B. Jones or something. Graphic novels, you can turn honestly like a written book that may only be 10 pages into a 100-page book. They're these big exploring journeys. They're so immersive. Yeah, I think it'd be really great for Blue Manatee to look into potentially trying to add on a graphic novel for that, maybe ages like 5, 6 up to like 8 or 9. Also, it's a big trend right now. Like anime is becoming a big thing again in pop culture. Graphic novels are just selling out at bookstores.
Yeah, they're fun. Graphic
exactly.
novels are a lot of fun.
Exactly. It's like a book or it's like a movie in a book.
Yeah.
They're a lot of fun. What is your favorite father moment of all time? Besides when your kid was born.
Well, I think there was a time when she was in kindergarten, and they actually had all the kids in the class make picture books. They all, just got page, stapled together some pages, and they each, my daughter's was a cat book, of course,
right?
And they had them all make their books, and they had a presentation. All the kids stood up and read their book, and at the end they all got Caldecott stickers put on the front.
That's fun.
And that was a really cool cool moment.
Had you already become a published author by this moment, or?
Yep.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. So a little proud father moment there. Your daughter got the Caldecott.
Yep.
There you go. So, did you always want to write children's books, or do you want to branch out, write more adult novels or preteen, young adult fiction?
That's a great question. I'm not sure. Like I really, my writing, I was definitely an illustrator first, and then my books would kind of the words would go along with the illustrations.
Right.
And so I can't imagine, the people that can write novels. I don't have that many words in my head.
Right.
So I'm not sure. I don't see going novel route, but maybe graphic novel, maybe more, definitely something with more pictures to it.
Yeah, I mean, get bored and start sketching something out. Just, make sure you keep in mind the person who gave you this great idea.
Right. Of course, I'll give you your cut.
There we go. Yeah. I'll be counting that money because I know that you'll be making that money with that graphic novel. They are so popular right now. I wish I had artistic talent. I have none. I could maybe draw a stick figure if I'm lucky. And with how bad I shake with my essential trimmers, I can't draw a straight stick figure. That's for sure. A little more rounded. How they end up looking.
That's okay. That's all right.
But I'm finalizing what I think is a pretty good long novel that I've written. So.
Oh, nice.
I may be submitting it and seeing what an editor thinks of it. I'm pretty excited for it. It's a nice historical fiction novel about a pilot during World War II, and I think it's come together pretty well. I'm pretty excited for it.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
Would it make a graphic novel though?
It could actually. It very well could. It could easily be converted to that. I would just have to take a lot of the filler words out, which is possible because that's one of the beauties of graphic novels. You don't need like the action description paragraphs because you can see it. You don't need 3 paragraphs talking about the setting, the exact field that, so-and-so's in at the moment and what they're looking at because the reader can see it. So it's very possible to turn it into a graphic novel. Why are you looking to collab?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
It could be fun.
Send it over.
All right. Yeah, I'll send you a draft just to even read if you want to, if you're into that kind of stuff.
Sure. There was a great graphic novel my daughter and I just read on the Great Chicago Fire. That
wow.
That was really cool, and it was just because you could see, like they had the Chicago map.
Yeah.
And where our house is, in in the map and how close the fire got to our house and how
Wow.
much of Chicago was destroyed. And it's cool. Like, I think it's a great way to,
Tell history
get
and tell
get
stories
history.
like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
As a history major, with my focus being in American history, I'd considered being a history teacher. I think one of the biggest sins of history in the classroom is that it's not engaging. I think that we've found a way to make history boring for kids. It's names and dates. That's what people say.
Right.
Graphic novels could be such a great way to teach kids at an early age of history. They can look at it in a fun way, but it's immersive. It can get the kid in the scene. I believe that there's an entire series that you could make out of just telling history out of a graphic novel that could work really well and hopefully get a kid interested in history at such a young age. That would make me happy.
Right. Yeah, it's placing, people in there and getting to know the people versus just the facts and figures.
Yeah.
It's and then makes it more memorable.
Yeah.
So they're
So finally, because we're coming up on half an hour now, how did you it's one of my favorite characters I think I've read in general because it's so unique. How did you create the cheese truck, and why is it your favorite?
I mean, well, the cheese truck. So for all the trucks, I kind of wanted them to be a little more gender neutral. Other than I think Sir Smash is the only one that's like definitely a boy truck. Right. So, I was just kind of thinking of a bunch of ridiculous ideas, and I wanted like one really ridiculous truck.
I love that.
The cheese seemed like a good choice, and I'm I live not too far from Wisconsin. My wife's from Wisconsin, and they love cheese in Wisconsin. So,
you ever been to the Cheese Castle just outside of Milwaukee?
Absolutely, yeah. You can't not go to the Cheese Castle if you drive by it.
Loved it. Smells awful, but I loved it.
Oh, it smells good. No, I disagree with that.
I wish I'm not that big of a cheese person. Like when I get a charcuterie board, I'm gonna be super boring. I'll get like Gouda and cheddar. Like what Limburg cheese, right? Is that what it is? Like the one that's super stinky?
Limburger.
Yeah, Limburger. Yeah, nope, not even gonna attempt to taste that.
Well, that's you're gonna have to branch out.
I guess so, but I love food. I'll eat just about anything, but I'm also very much I taste with what I smell too, and cheese just turns me away. It's repulsive at times. But I do like a mountain of cheese, like on my spaghetti and salad and such. It really depends. The more typical cheese that you buy in store, Parmesan, mozzarella, cheddar, I'm totally fine with those.
Right.
When you start getting creative. And it looks like a big clustered ball of mold. Yeah, I'm gonna stay away from that.
All right.
What's your favorite type of cheese?
I like mixing it up. I don't think there's I see there's not too many bad cheeses out there. I think they all have a place.
I'd say you found the right wife, huh?
Right.
Combine your
gotta
love
mix
for
it up.
cheese. That's right.
Try different things.
Love that. All right, so there is a little game that I want to debut here on the Fresh Off the Press podcast.
Oh, geez.
And I'm going to call it Feel the Pressure. So I know that you really, you wanted an idea of questions and topics that we're going to talk about. I guess to, prepare yourself, understandably. Well, it's time to hit you with questions that you weren't prepared for in rapid succession.
Okay.
Just a quick answer. Quick questions, quick answer. So will you feel the pressure?
Yep.
You ready for these?
Yep.
All right. What is your favorite movie?
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Great movie. What is your favorite book?
Lone Wolf and Cub. If I was going picture book, I would say Boats for Papa is one of my favorites.
All right. What is your favorite character, movie or book of all time?
Favorite character, I kind of like Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice, that's a fun one. I'm a little more boring. I like Atticus Finch. I think I can't talk right now. I think Atticus Finch is my favorite character of all time.
That's a good one.
Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter?
Lord of the Rings.
Great choice. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. See, look, we could be friends easily. Favorite type of pizza? Like if you were to order a pizza right now.
Favorite type, I'd probably go with Chicago deep dish. I like Pequod's a lot. That's my favorite pizza place in Chicago.
Okay, that's different from the typical like Giordano's or something like that.
Yeah, it's actually pan. It's not pan style, not typical Chicago deep dish, but
see,
yeah,
I don't really
Pequod's
like
is
the
way to go.
Chicago deep dish. I don't know if that's like a sin to say that around you. Or any Chicagoans out there, but to be fair, no one understands our chili spaghetti, so hamburgers or tacos?
Oh, hamburgers.
I think tacos are better. That's
a tough one.
It is.
That's tough.
Fast food of
Fast food of
choice.
choice?
Yeah.
I go with Portillo's.
Oh,
Chicago.
Interesting. Yeah, you're very true to your Chicago roots, huh?
Yeah.
Favorite game
so.
to play with your kids?
Favorite game? Well, I'd say hide and seek.
Hide and
but,
seek? Okay.
Yeah, go hide and seek.
You don't try to kick their butts in like Mario Kart or
Oh, yeah.
or Smash Bros or
Mario
something
Kart,
like
Smash
that.
Brothers. We do play some Smash Brothers.
Try not to go too easy on them, right?
Right.
They gotta learn. Favorite vacation destination?
I've never been to Japan. I'd love to go to Japan at some
me
some
too.
point.
I would love to. Friends or Seinfeld?
Seinfeld, definitely.
Great choice. All right, Mr. Chicagoan. I add this one in because I'm curious. Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
Oh, come on. No.
Obviously,
Don't even go
LeBron
there.
James, right? No, I would have to say Michael Jordan.
Good. That's good to hear.
Orange juice or apple juice?
Orange juice.
Great choice. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Excellent choice too. Favorite type? Oh, whoa! I already asked. Favorite type of cheese? You don't have a favorite type.
Yeah. I don't.
If you
think I
could
have a
only
favorite
eat
type.
one cheese for the rest of your life, you had
Well,
to
I'd
pick
probably
one.
just go Swiss. I'd probably go like standard Swiss.
Okay, I'll take that. All right. Well, that ends the feel the pressure. Did you feel it?
I did.
All right. Well, Doug, I just want to thank you for being our second guest on the Fresh Off the Press podcast.
Well, thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun as well. Everyone out there, check out all of Doug Cenko's books published by us at Blue Manatee Press by going to our website, bluemanateepress.com. Again, I have to personally recommend My Mama is a Mechanic because that's relatable to me. But Little Monster Trucks Go, it's a great book for kids of really any age between like 2 up to 8, you know, and it doesn't matter, like boy or girl. I think that they're all gonna love it. It's a fun little monster truck racing book. And any last words you want to say about Doug? If you want to sell yourself here?
Oh man, no.
Final feel the pressure moment, you know?
I just choked.
It's all right, you know. We can't all be Michael Jordan, right?
Right. For the final thing that I choked on, I would say support your local bookstores.
Oh, I love that. Yes, especially right now. Very necessary. Wow, you hear that, people? How could you not go buy a Doug Cenko book right now? That was so selfless. He wasn't trying to sell himself. He's selling you to go buy books from the local bookstore. Love that. All right. Well, yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate having you on.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, and I hope to have you on again here in maybe a couple months. We can pick up on other topics.
That sounds great.
All right. Great. Thank you very much. How great is Doug? I feel like he's someone I could really just hang out with on a weekend, maybe read or watch some anime with. That's the kind of guy I want to hang out with. I think the most fun and interesting part to me was when he told us how involved his daughter was with creating his stories. And as she continues to grow older, perhaps his content will grow with her as well. That's honestly very beautiful. Or what about how I gave him an opportunity to sell himself in a final pitch on the spot, and he instead took the opportunity to encourage you to support local indie bookstores? I absolutely love that. It just shows how selfless and how much of a class act Doug Cenko is, especially during these uncertain times. I think the most surprising fact of the day for me was learning that Doug doesn't prefer the deep dish Chicago pizza, That's like a Cincinnatian here saying, I don't like chili spaghetti. Yeah, I thought that was a sin. I'm curious what your favorite moment or fact is. Please reach out to us on our social media and connect with us. Let me hear you. I'd love to talk with you. One last time, if you'd like to order your copy of Little Monster Trucks Go or any book of Doug Cenko's, if that's My Papa is a Princess or My Mama is a Mechanic, you can find them at our website at www.bluemanateepress.com. I hope everyone enjoyed our second episode of Fresh Off the Press presented by Blue Manatee Press. We will be releasing new episodes to you wherever you like to listen to podcasts, whether if it's Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, or even Stitcher, on the 1st and 15th of every month. Make sure to follow us on those platforms, and hey, give us a like if you enjoyed this episode. Likes help us out a lot with discoverability as a new podcast show. Of course, we encourage you to follow us and connect with us on all of our social media like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You can find us at Blue Manatee Press. New videos as well as podcast uploads are available on our YouTube. Look up Blue Manatee Press on YouTube. On Sunday, November 1st, we will be having debut author Andrea Pfeiffer on our show to talk about her upcoming picture book, Baby Monster, releasing November 17th, and you can pre-order a copy today. I'm your host, Chase Osborne, and this is our second episode of Fresh Off the Press, presented by Blue Manatee Press. I hope you loved it. I know I did, and I'll see you again on the 1st.